Today saw demonstrators dressed in suits and business wear walk out from work and form an orderly queue across central London. TV personalities Chris Climate Doom Packham and Deborah Don't Fly on Private Jets Meaden, as well as the former boss of Unilever, that famously climate-conscious business, joined with hundreds of businesses to take part in the queue for climate on the Millennium Bridge of all places. Quite what it achieved, I'm not sure. But here to tell me is Ed Gemmell, leader of the Climate Party, and an attendee to the demonstration today. Ed, what were you queuing for?
Well, as you said, it was the queue for climate and nature. It was run by Business Declares, the group who organised it, and there were effectively three things written into a letter that was then signed by everybody who was queuing, and that's accelerating renewables in the UK, it's starting to make sure that we protect nature properly, and it was also talking about stopping fossil fuel licences. So that was the aspect of it, but the people you mentioned, I mean, Chris Skidmore as well was endorsing what was going on, and all of the endorsers, Deborah Meaden, Paul Polman, etc., are there because what they're saying is we need to help business get on and deal with the business of net zero and become successful in it. It's not just about getting there for altruistic reasons. There's a profit motive involved, and we want to have that, bottom line sorted out and working to get the bottom line as well. What do you think they're so scared of, seeing as nothing's ever changed in the climate? I don't think that it's a case of being so scared of it, actually. I think these people...
making it better.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think it's also, though, we're not necessarily here talking about being scared. I mean, those businesses are seeing that there's a big opportunity. I mean, let's be honest, at the moment, we import our solar panels from China. China currently, Kemi Badenoch made a comment about it, quite unfortunately, during the week. But China is now controlling vast amounts of the sort of natural minerals and stuff around the world. It's producing, in terms of manufacturing, half the solar, 66% of the wind, 80% of the batteries, and we're not. I mean, we're doing little tiny bits and that sort of thing. So what those businesses are saying is, look, guys, here's an opportunity. We can get ahead, we can start leading this new clean industrial revolution, make money for Britain, get money to pay for our social services, our NHS, our police, get rid of our cost of living crisis and inflation by bringing our targets forward, getting serious and making sure we do it and not others.
But surely bringing the targets forward is going to make it harder, because obviously we're seeing a drop-off in EV sales now. People are just giving up on electric cars because they actually aren't that great. They take 70% more natural minerals out of the ground and resources to build, and people can't be bothered with them. So surely the best thing to do to hurry people along is go, look, let's get rid of all this £20 billion a year we're spending on net zero and free everybody up, lower petrol duty, start fracking, get clean energy, give it another 50 years and and smack it out of the park.
The funny thing is you and I agree on one thing. We want to make sure that the British economy gets going, that we actually make more money, that we have it to put into all of our services and everything else. We bring inflation down. So we both agree on that. It's just about the method of achieving it. We just spent 40, 50 years outshoring our industry. We don't make anything anymore. In the 2070s, 25% of our gross domestic product was manufacturing. It's now below 10%. Why do we have sticky inflation? Well, part of the reason is because we don't make stuff and sell it, which means we control the prices and everything else when we sell it abroad. You mentioned the EVs, and without getting into the specifics of the actual thing, we're also looking at what's the next EV, where's the new technology, where's the new innovation. If we pull forward our targets, we visibly get ahead of the rest of the world, we unleash the city to start investing in the innovation, and we start believing we can do it, because people say it's not practical to bring those targets forward, it isn't going to work, but it can work. Look what we did when we were on a war footing, going back all those years, things that we would have said were impossible the year before the war suddenly became possible. Shipbuilding. I mean, roughly speaking, ships that were taking 2.5 years to build suddenly got built in 2 to 4 weeks in the middle of the war. Incredible things can happen when you concentrate, get a national mission, get the investment in it and go for it.
And you do sell it beautifully.
Well, we're both after the same thing. It's a question of
I like V8s.
So,
I like a V8.
OK, I mean,
I like a hissing, spitting, coughing V8.
That's right.
I'll never not love one.
You probably had comments on your social media saying, we'll get a recording for you and put it in the back of your EV for you.
Well, I mean, part of me wishes they would, because EVs have got a real soulless horribleness to them. And also, I was with a driver the other day, and he had one of the affordable ones. I think it was a Kia or something like that. And I said, well, what's it like? And, I want to know. And he said, oh, it's brilliant at 20 miles an hour. You can pootle around town and it's fine. But the minute you get out of town, battery goes nowhere. So you're creating a sort of electric prison for you. And the other thing that really drives me insane is white van man on £12.50 has to pay £12.50 a day, but someone who's got corporation tax of over whatever it is. You know, they make 40 grand in corporation tax. They can offset the entire amount of corporation tax in its entirety in year one against an EV. So we're taxing poor people to pay for rich people's electric ideology.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, we don't agree completely on this, but I think we both have a view, which is that £12.50 a day was done wrongly. It could have been done in a much, much, much better way. And in terms of the election that both you and I stood in, I mean, I was out on the street talking to people just like you were. I met Raj. Raj had 4 minibuses that he was polishing up to sell them at a loss because he couldn't afford to run his business afterwards. But when I talked to Raj about how it could have been done, Raj wasn't against the idea of clean air or decarbonisation. He was OK with that. And we talked about the fact if we'd brought this ULEZ scheme in over 5 years, £2.50 at the beginning, gradually increased it so there wasn't this cliff edge drop in it.
Maybe there would have been less ULEZ cameras dying suddenly from
Absolutely.
sudden ULEZ camera disease. Anyway, Ed, thank you for coming in. And you do present the world's best case for this, and it's optimistic and positive, and it's not sort of people-hating and doomsday cultish.
Great.
So thank you very much.